Good morning, class.
Good morning.
How are you guys all doing today?
Good.
Okay.
Good. It's Wednesday. We're almost done with the week.
Yeah.
And I have good news for you. We're going to have a fun class today.
Good.
Is everyone ready
Yes.
for some fun?
Yes.
All right. So go ahead and we'll start like we do every class, even though this will be a little bit more exciting than normal. I want you guys to take out your math notebook and begin working on the bell work. All right? So go ahead and take a few minutes to do that independently. Okay, class, once you've all gone ahead and solved it independently, go ahead and share with your neighbor what you thought the answer to the problem was.
Multiply the ingredients by 5. What'd you get?
Same.
Cool.
All right, does anyone want to share what them and their neighbor decided? Ethan.
Multiply the ingredients by 5.
That's great. How did you come to that answer?
Because the recipe makes 2 pancakes, but you need 10. And so 2 times 5 equals 10. And so that would get you 10 pancakes.
Yeah, that's exactly right, because it says Miss Corley has a recipe that makes 2 pancakes. Can 2 pancakes feed all of you guys?
No.
No.
Would you be upset if I made 2 pancakes and said that you all had to share them?
Yes. I would
Yes?
be upset.
Okay. So if I want to make 10 pancakes to share with all of you, I should multiply my recipe for 2 pancakes by 5. And that takes a lot of steps, but that way I can make sure that you guys all get a chance to have a pancake. Good job, guys. Is there any questions about that? No? Okay. Well, our goal for today, so when you leave class today, you'll be able to correctly apply your skills to life beyond high school. Does someone want to tell me in their own words what they think that'll mean to them? Ginger.
What I think it means when I leave today, I'll be able to use these skills that we're learning today to outside the school setting.
That's great. So anything you do beyond this school building, you should be able to apply your multiplication and division skills that we've been practicing. That's awesome. Do you guys all remember the skills that we learned in the past few days? And yesterday we really worked on becoming fluent in those skills. And so now we get to apply those. Hope you're all ready. Also, so the schedule for the day looks like, if you look over here on this board, it is, we're going to start with a large group discussion. Then you guys will work as a group that I assign and get to make pancakes yourself, which is really exciting. And you'll also get to eat those as long as you don't have any allergies, and that can all be accommodated if you talk to me. And then you're going to work individually to fill out a budget and do a worksheet like that too. So we're going to be focusing on applying multiplication skills to making recipes and division skills to budgeting. So I hope you're all ready. Alright, so also I want you guys to have your math notebooks handy so that you can refer back to problems we've done this past week if you get stuck anywhere in your activities. So I want you to take out your notebooks actually right now, and I want you to work with a partner to brainstorm 5 ideas of how you can apply multiplication and division to your life. So it can be your life in the future, whether you're at a job or things where you've seen it yourself. So go ahead and do that for a few minutes. And remember, these ideas can be anything. It can be things that you do in your sports, things that you do at home, video games, any sort of application that you can think of. So be creative. And feel free to talk with your neighbor too. Does everyone have some ideas?
Yep.
Okay, Ethan, what's one idea?
Buying food like in bulk. So do you know like if just buying one of them's cheaper, or if you get a better deal by buying more of them?
Oh, okay, like when it says 10 for $10
Yeah.
or things like that. So buying groceries and things and ways that you can apply that. That's great. Ginger, what about you?
I got a like cost per gallon of gas.
Oh, that's a great
That's every day for everyone, just seeing how much mileage too when you're driving from one place to another, how much gas that is.
one. Wow, that's great, Ginger. That's hard to figure out, and especially as you guys are all just starting to drive, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Takes time. It took me a long time when I was in high school to figure that out. Any other ideas? What about jobs that use multiplication and division? Can you guys think of any? What about, does anyone know what an architect does?
Builds things?
Yeah, he makes
builds
blueprints
things.
and-
So making blueprints and floor plans and all of that uses multiplication and division, right?
Yeah.
And all of that, so you can use it in your job. What about in sports? Are there any sports that use multiplication and division? Hi, Amanda. Go ahead and have a seat. Glad you made it to class today.
Basketball.
Basketball, how does that use it?
Because if people always calculate points per game,
Uh-huh.
they use division.
That's great. And so other sports I'd use that too. Baseball, don't you get a batting average? How do you get an average? Through division, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Any other ideas? We need one more.
Buying tickets.
Buying tickets, how do you use that? Multiplication and division there.
Well, if you have to buy group tickets, if you want to buy 5 tickets at once,
Uh-huh.
you have to multiply the cost of tickets by the number of people.
That's great. You guys are thinking very highly today. I'm very proud of you. Have you all experienced these things now that you think about it?
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
Yes.
Is it surprising to you how often we actually use this in our lives?
Yes.
Yeah. So, I'm very proud of you guys. So let's talk more about this cost per gallon of gas. Because I know that can be confusing sometimes. So let's say you have $20 for gas, because that's usually how much money we're dealing with these days is low numbers, because you can't often afford to fill your tank if it's $60. So let's say the price of gas is $3.50 per gallon for regular, because we don't need premium in our cars. Let's just pretend. So $3.50 and you have $20. This is just a little bit of a review. Then what's our step? So how are we going to figure out how many gallons of gas we're going to get?
Multiplication.
Almost. We could multiply the number here and then see around when we get to around 20, but I think it's easier to try using division instead. So what would we do then with 20?
Divide it.
Divide it by, I don't know, usually divide it by a smaller number.
350.
Yes, so we would divide 20 by 350. So do y'all understand how things like this can be applied?
Yes.
Are there any questions before we move on to our group activity?
Nope.
Are we multiplying and dividing, or just multiplying?
During our recipe activity, which we'll be doing I'll be helping you guys along, but you'll be doing it in groups, we'll be using multiplication.
Okay.
And then during our budgeting activity, which you'll be doing on your own and at home, you're going to be using division.
Okay.
Alright? Great question, Ginger. Alright, students, so here's the list of groups that you'll be in. I'm putting it under the document camera. So everyone find your name and get to your group.
I'm with you.
Okay, and here's copies of your recipe. Now that everyone's in their group, I appreciate how you guys did that so quietly and efficiently. I think you all must be hungry for your pancakes. Okay, so now let's look at our recipe. So the scenario at the top says that you guys all want to make recipes for enough of the people in your group. Right now, the recipe that you have before you only makes enough for one person. And you all are in groups of 3. So what are we going to have to do to the recipe? Ethan?
Double it?
Not quite. That would only make enough for 2 people. So if we want to make enough for 3, what would we do?
Triple it.
That's right. So we're going to go ahead and look at our recipe. And what do we have to do to triple a recipe? Does anyone know? Has anyone cooked pancakes before and how to make it bigger?
If you triple the recipe, can you just add it 3 times?
Yeah, you add it 3 times or multiply it by 3.
Yeah, multiple.
So multiplying it by 3 saves us a few steps. So go ahead and work with your group, and before you touch any ingredients or anything, we're going to triple our recipe and then go over it as a class to make sure everyone's on the right track, okay?
Okay.
So take a few minutes and work with your group to triple your recipe.
The whole thing or just one ingredient?
Go ahead and do the whole thing. Good question. Alright class, let's go ahead and look at the first ingredient. So, let's start with flour. So, if we want to triple the amount of flour, we multiply it by 3. So Amanda, how much flour does the recipe call for?
1 cup.
So if we multiply 1 times 3, how many cups of flour do we need?
3.
3 cups of flour. That's awesome. Did you guys all get that?
Yep.
Great. Alright, so go ahead and we'll check the rest of the ingredients and check with our neighbors as well to make sure we're all on the right track. Good job. Okay, now class, you can come and get your ingredients from me and I'll check off your recipe list. Good job. Did you guys all have fun making pancakes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did they all turn out like you were expecting?
No.
No, why not?
I burned mine.
I think mine still had like some dough in the middle.
Do you think those were problems of the recipe or how we prepared it?
How we prepared it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we made sure our math was correct, right?
Yes.
Yes. Alright, so now I'm going to pass out your budgeting worksheet for the day. And we're going to take the last 5 minutes of class and begin working on it so I can answer questions for you guys. And then we're going to go ahead and pack up and get ready for home. To go home. So here, or to your next class. Here's your budgeting worksheet. Alright, so go ahead and read the directions to yourself and begin working. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask me. Alright, students, begin packing up your stuff. I appreciate how you all worked so quietly and independently today during our independent practice, but then you also had so much fun during our pancake thing. So make sure all of your pancake garbage is cleaned up and make sure all your notebooks are put away, please. Thank you for cleaning up so nicely, class. I'm very impressed. Alright, so let's look back at our objective for the day. So, when you leave class today, you were supposed to be able to correctly apply your skills to life beyond high school. Do you feel that you guys met this objective today?
Yeah.
Yeah? Can you guys tell me 3 ways that you met this objective, or 3 things that you learned today?
How to make pancakes.
Great, Amanda, you learned how to make pancakes. Did you have to use any of our multiplication or division skills in that?
Yes.
Which ones did you use?
I multiplied flour by 3 to
That's-
get 3 cups.
Exactly, that's great. Ginger, what did you learn today?
I learned that there's a lot of ways that multiplication is used in our everyday life, such as like buying tickets and
Mm-hmm.
getting gas. So.
It's really important, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. Ethan, what about you?
I learned how to figure out how much gas I can get with how much money I have.
Yeah, that's hard, huh?
Difficult.
It's very difficult, but it's important and it's great. I'm very proud of how you guys did today, and I'm looking forward to beginning our new topic tomorrow. So thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Have a wonderful day.